Hey, so I got someone asked what my process is, and I'm so flattered, and I can't wait to share it. So this is a different episode. This is not a draw over. That's coming next week. So in between is a little mini-sode about process. A lot of artists have process, and here's mine. Hope you enjoy it. We will start that again. Okay, here we go. Mini-sode number one. So I'm working on a series called Letting Go, where I'm, taking my style to a transitional level, trying to get into more of the fine art look rather than illustration. So I'm setting a bunch of rules and just coming up with some images. But here's what I'm trying to do with my own style, my own art goals and challenges. Is I don't want to do A to Z rendering, and I mean like where you start on one side of the image and you go around the horn all the way till you're complete, 100% complete. I don't like that. I want to, that's kind of what is built. That's what I've been doing, but so I want to back off. I want to just be more suggestive, and at one point I want to be able to get rid of the line altogether and just have values working and to tell the image. So, like for instance, this Farragutti, look at this painting. Okay, take this for example. Like, look at this section, and there's not a lot of detail in here at all. It's so suggested. And suggestive. There's such little detail, and he just pays attention to the shapes and the light, and there's no line. It's just, I love it. So I'm putting myself in black and white jail for about 6 months, and and we'll see how it goes. But I have my own set of challenges. So I'm kind of going back to school, learning the fundamentals, just kind of a refresher course for myself. That's why I also have this YouTube channel. It's kind of getting me in the mode. Why not share the love, right? So the idea, for the series I'm working on, I'm not thinking of some big gallery show at all. All I'm doing is putting in the reps and just kind of grinding through a bunch of work and just seeing what happens. I want to, get to hit the fundamentals. I want to make some satisfying imagery, of course. And then, like I said, I have a lot of my own little challenges that I'll be doing. Illustration is in my DNA, so I don't really want to force myself away from that. So I'm going to lean into it. So usually I'm always, I have a manuscript or a movie script, and my job is to, illustrate the copy, the text, tell that story, and mostly when I do an image of any kind, it's reflecting 90% of the script. So what I'm doing to get my ideas, I still like starting with an interesting story, something that really interests me, and then but when I make the image, it's really stands on its own, and it asks more questions than it does answer. So there's still a fraction of the story in the image, but you'll really never be able to tell, hopefully, in the final piece. So this is like illustration is on the left, fine art land is on the right, and I'm crossing that bridge. It's going to take who knows how long, 6 months I'm giving it. We'll see how that goes. I think I'm about here in my journey to the fine art style that I'm looking for. So this is my process. There's a lot of steps involved, and each step needs to be approved by me before it goes to the next. So first one, write the idea. It's got to look good on paper. That's kind of what I'm used to. I walk it out. I talk it over with people and see if they understand it. I have a bunch of little rules, micro rules that go along before it hits the thumbnail stage, which is fun. That's when that's when I start arting. Then it goes to the digital, and again, each stage needs to be approved before it goes to the final stages. So this is the thumbnail stage. I get a nice thumbnail, something I like, then I hop right into the digital and just start letting it rip, just to see what's going on. You see what I can get, and I get to a point where I'm drawing the subject. Here in this case, it's a fish, but I wait till I really crave reference. And then at that point is when I'll search, find some good reference, and then start drawing again. And then that kind of answers a lot of questions that I've been having, and I get a sense of mood and value. And then I do a drawing like this it's more of a construction drawing. It's more of just a helpful like scaffolding that I put up. And then I approve myself to the value stages. 3 values only though. It's got to work. It's got to work and be strong with these 3 values. Just a light gray, a medium, and then a dark. And once this looks good and I'm happy, I'll allow myself to do this stage, which is the ambient lighting, and then 1 layer of highlights. That's it. It's so easy to go nuts with highlights. So yeah, that's that. And when I get to this stage, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good about it, but it's got to run this test. So what I do is I take the line off, and it's got to be legible to anybody. I should be able to throw this in front of anybody. I'm walking by and I see someone, I'm like, what does this look like? And if the guy looks like a huge fish stuck to the ground, I'd be like, mission accomplished. Yeah, there was this area. This is just part of the concept. I had to deal with this person that's trapped underneath, this dude from Texas. If you happen to know what this story is about, please let me take a guess. Okay, by the way, this whole process, there's been a group behind these closed locked doors that have been pounding to get in, and they are the over inkers. They're a mad group. They come in and they're just dying to draw and ink. So they always go overboard. So I just let them come in and they go crazy and they have fun. There's a lot of information on this stage that I get from the over inkers. Thank you guys. But then I take a macro review. This is the last step. I'm like, okay, and I call in the SEAL Team 6. This sounds so weird, but I call in SEAL Team 6, and they have the final say on how much inking is done. And they go in and they just do high strategy stuff. They're like, we don't really need it here. We don't need any inking here, and you gotta let go here and here. So. And that's kind of the process as it is right now. I still think it's over inked. I want to keep paring that back until I'm happy with just values. But we will see how that goes. Work in process. This is what's going on the canvas right now, up on the easel, on the digital easel. And there'll be more of this coming soon. But I hope you guys like this. I'd love to hear your process too. You know, artists have crazy processes. So. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week with a regular episode of Draw Overs.